Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It is me, your friendly local neighborhood Zenosfire, back again for another day of framey shenanigans. How's everybody doing today? What you up to? Good to see you, Echo. How you doing, Iron? Welcome on back, Valley. What's up, Dalen? How you doing today? It is a Xeno Stream Redacted. How you doing today, Night Owl? Welcome back, Dova. Hi, Cardi. You're not having the best day, but at least you got this. Heck yeah! JK, thank you very much for the follow. Fed 120 people. Heck yeah, bro. That's awesome. How you doing, Angel? Welcome, Tazzy. Hello, Jolly. What's up, Pokemon fan? We did that last night. We did it last night. Hey, Panda. How you doing, Mr. W? And IHOP. What is up? How is everyone doing? All right, you know the deal. You want it again? Okay, well, we'll think about it. We'll see if one day we can rope down a Rue and a Charlie again and do some more, because it's kind of fun hanging out with those two doing that. Alrighty, you know the deal. How much do you have to donate? Oh no. Oh no, Dova. Echo, do you want to join? And Pokemon fan, can you join for dailies? Absolutely. You're not online though, so let me know when you're online. Lilith, right? And oh, I'm sorry. Lilith, hold on. Where are we at? Lilith, are you both on Steel Meridian and Cephalon Suda? Because we'll do Steel Meridian first here. Okay, you're on both? Okay, so we'll do Steel Meridian first. And then, if we got room, we'll grab Cardi. Do you have permission to ask about my build? Yeah, absolutely. More than happy to. Oh, Mr. W, I'm sorry. We've already full up here, but we'll grab you if we got some more room, okay? We'll grab you if we got room, and if not, then don't worry. We'll be doing lots of stuff all day today, and we'll make sure that you get in here. We got a defense. Let's grab our Nova. What's the mission? We're just doing these here. We're doing Steel Meridian dailies first, and then we'll go do Cephalon Suda, and we'll see if we can exchange some people out. And if not, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Finally got a DisplayPort cable for your PC. Ooh, very good. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of PC work. I might have to take a day off next week just to get, like, some various, busy work that I need to get done, but we'll figure that out. I think I'm taking Saturday off next week because I think I'm heading over to see a friend. Solatoroids? Solatoroids are the one that's normally farmed, Solatoroids are just the normal ones, right? Right? They're not the ones from many of the bosses. Yeah, they're the normal ones. So I do actually have a short on how to farm those. Little dot. And here's the information you need. Solatoroids are farmed from a specific area on whatchamacallit. So there's more information there. By your calculations, Chrome build should be at 3k at max or 2k at min when using fire health, but only ever goes to up to 1800. You're confused. Well, if you want to send me your build, I'll take a look at it. And then we can compare your build versus my build and see if maybe there's some incongruencies between the two. Should you put any survivability mods on Noko? You feel like Invis from Shade and Sprodling should suffice? Honestly, between his passive, being invisible, as well as, jumping into Sprodling for the emergency, you should be fine. I like running Rolling Guard just for the extra survivability, but it's totally up to you. I do have a full Noko video on the channel, Fenrir Enthusiast, which you can go check out there for any more information. And how I like to build out my Noko. You have adaptation on yours? Yeah, it just kind of depends. Like, each of the builds has a little bit of a different survivability method of how I play Noko. So depending on how, you know, what helmets I'm using, what frame I'm, like, sort of what mission I'm in, and so on and so forth, there's different options there. But I do like having rolling guard on Noko. It's not entirely necessary. I just find it to be quite a nice improvement for his overall flow. Just protects him, gives him the emergency oh crap. Because while the passive is actually a really great way to survive on Noko, it is, you know, it takes you out of your you know, swing of murder, you know what I mean? You got Noko today. Was fun seeing big red crits on barely modded Shroom Boy. Yeah, but because its crits go up by 25% each time, right? It makes it very easy. But Noko and cleared all enemies. He was like 24. Yeah, Noko's fantastic. Very, very fun to play. What are my top 3 frames? Heronesia and I don't know, Chroma probably would be in that list as well for the top 3. Although I am really enjoying playing Noko sort of in my off time, so you know, I do enjoy that. And Noko might actually be one of those frames where I do a switcheroo on to making one of my more used frames. Hey Rainy, hi Lich, how you doing, both of you? Welcome on in. Didn't even have him properly built and he's hitting 1 million plus. Yep. Why Chroma? Fantastic weapon platform, incredibly strong, great survivability, great squad utility. I actually, like, I'm one of the very few people who thinks that Chroma doesn't need a rework. He just needs some love on his first and second ability, or his first and fourth ability and his passive. I think that his second and third abilities just make him incredible. Let's see. I saw a D. Oh, it was disruption. It was disruption. Okay, let's go get the disruption done first here. You're on vacation? Heck yeah, you doing a staycation or do you decide to go travel somewhere, Lich? Hi, Maddie's cutie. How you doing today? If we make Chroma 1 a selection wheel, then he's fine. But his Chroma 1 is the selection wheel, Lich. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're meaning. Which is definitely possible. Copy and paste my Chroma build. The only thing you don't have are the Archon shards. Said that health gets from the elemental ward is additive or something like that. Yeah, it is modded health, right? So it's just like, you know, it's just like a Serration, or not Serration, sorry, a Vitality. So it's not a multiplicative health. It's just a normal health mod type style thing. But if you want to, Dragon, you're absolutely welcome to send me your build. I can take a look at it and give you some recommendations. Because it's kind of hard to just sort of base off of text to properly explain everything, right? Being a silly goober today? Heck yeah. You enjoy being a silly goober. And you know what, Dovalat? F it. If we get to 3,500, we'll do another Musume stream. Because it was actually just kind of fun, but more importantly, it was just fun hanging out with Rue and Charlie. And also making Rue really upset with my RNG was glorious. I'm blessed by the gotcha. Yeah, Molly the Goat. Don't worry, don't worry. You don't need to donate. We're gonna play it again sometime soon, so you don't need to donate if you aren't able to or if you're worried. But we will definitely play more of it going forward. Musume? Yeah, we played it yesterday. It was actually a ton of fun. Rue, Charlie, and I. Rue convinced my community that if we got to 3,000 during the QTCC stream last week, that we would, play Musume together. So, yeah, we're gonna do some more of that eventually. It just kind of depends on when the two of those are available, because you know, it was fun just vibing with the two of them and hanging out, so we might do some more of that. You mean instead of using the energy color, it's like Sights 2? Yeah, well, I mean, it's like Caliban's summons, right? You can hold cast to rotate elements. But yeah, it would be kind of cool to have it as like a full separate wheel, you're right. But I don't know if it needs to be a full separate wheel, right? It's only the 4 base elements. Would that need to be a full separate wheel? I don't know. Finished your SEM exams a week ago. Now you're just enjoying yourself. Oh, congratulations, Panda. I hope the exams went well, and I hope that your marks went well, too. I was always someone who was always overly concerned about my grades when I was in university. So I definitely understand. Caliban summons have an icon. Caliban doesn't. I think it does. Am I losing my mind? Okay, we gotta test this, Lich, because I might be losing my mind. There is a grand possibility that I am just losing my mind. But I thought that it actually showed the icons in the bottom right. I thought so. You did well on your uni finals, so you treated yourself to a new Wukong Deluxe. Ooh, very good. Treat yourself. I thought it didn't? I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. Oh, look, a scan person. Hello, scan person. Oh, you're in Quebec? Heck yeah! There we go. If you pass or not, it's not because, this is because your college is based on credits? Okay, totally fair. Ryu, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Nox. That's very kind of you. Thank you, thank you. Nox, of course, please say thank you to, I mean, well, I mean, you two are together, so it would, you know, it'd be really odd if you didn't say thanks, but, you know, I've got to say, please say thanks, because that's what I do around here, but thank you very much, Ryu, for the sub. I hope you're doing well. Mav, welcome on in, how you doing today? Alright, where's our rest of our candies? Well, we haven't gone this way, maybe there's some candies over here. Did we get all 8, or am I losing my mind? 1, 2, 5. Oh, we got all 8. Perfect. Hey, Gino, how you doing today? Now that we have Noko and Ureli being related, what other frames do you think we'll start to make a family lore for? Ooh, I mean, I guess we'll probably see some more. Probably see some more going forward, maybe. But I think the Noko and the Ureli thing isn't necessarily canon. It's just sort of something that Reb said, and then the artist went wild with it. It's kind of what Reb said in the whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, Hildren is either the big sister or the aunt who shows up and is like, "Did you touch my niece and nephew?" Crunch. Hope we get more Dad Umbra? Maybe. Wine Ant? No, not Wine Ant. This is Muscle Ant. Ryu, a GIF? Ooh, an Omniformal bundle. Thanks, Ryu. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. I shall put it to good to work. Are Baruch and Hildren just a lesbian couple? Well, Baruch is male canonically, so that wouldn't be a lesbian couple. But you know. But that actually would be a really, like, funny couple dynamic. Very calm and peaceful. Baruch, who's all about, like, relax, you know. It's like, oh, don't worry. We only need to fight if we have to. Meanwhile, Hildren's just like, I'm ready to kill. Stand back, honey. I've got this.
Ship's reactor. The reactor is a complex system. Start by cells.
Won't let me live, won't let me die.
Now, a lot of people are depending on you.
Where is it? Just before someone does it. There we go. Well, I feel like Oberon Titania, considering they're from, you know, Old English slash, you know, they're an established couple already in, like, Earth lore. So I feel like those two are an established couple. We need another muscle frame? I mean, I'd be down for more muscle frames. We got a few muscle frames. We got the Carnifex skin for Valk. She's very muscly. And then we have Hildren, and we got a few others. I mean, Rhino, I would say, is a muscle frame. Or would fall into that category, maybe. Grendel is definitely a strong man. That guy does, like, he squats for, like, 700 pounds. How long ago was Rhino added? I think Rhino was one of the OGs. If memory serves correctly. Is more inflatable costume than actual muscle? How dare you? You take that back. How dare you? I take great personal offense to that. Alright, we gotta run a quick ad break here, everybody. You know the deal. So that new people don't get pre-roll ads. Sit tight. See you in a second. Titania from William Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream? Yes. And I believe Oberon is actually from Old English lore, if I remember correctly. Celtic lore and stuff like that. But I do know that Titania is, in fact, a creation of William Shakespeare, if I remember correctly. But of course, then other fantasy authors have taken and run with it. You know, King Oberon, Queen Titania of the Fey Realms, etc., etc. Is a very common trope piece. I don't remember if they both are or only. My understanding, Norse was only one of the two was from William Shakespeare. I thought that one of the two was not and the other was. But I could always, as always, be wrong. They always hide one behind these. And that was number 8. Perfect. Perfecto. I think your favorite Warframe duo meme is Grendel Gauss, where Grendel held Gauss in the Big Mac and Charlie. Use your head as a battering ram pose? Yes. Exactly.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tao.
Precisely. Oberon was in Midsummer Night's Dream. I knew both of them were in Midsummer Night's Dream. I thought one of them was original outside of Midsummer Night's Dream. Okay, we're off to do this. Cardi, you're for Suda, right? Fastball special Mac 10? Oh, you're on Steel. I'm so sorry, Cardi. That's my fault. We got room for one for Cephalon Suda dailies. Sorry, Cardi, that's my bad. Norse, alright. Intercept, excavation, mobile defense. Okay, let's start with mobile defense. Hi, buddy. Oh, you silly boy. It's definitely not your dinner time yet. Definitely not yet, good sir. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's turned into, Girafficorn, but I forget, like... I remember looking this up a long time ago because of both a Warframe thing as well as a D&D thing. In now, like, more contemporary, as in, like, the past couple of 100 years, story, yes. Titania and Oberon are the king and queen of the Fae. But I don't think... I was under the understanding that one of them was actually from, like, proper mythos, and that the other was... Oh, is it locked in this room? Is it in this locked room down here? No, it's not. Very nice. But, I could be wrong. It was forever ago when I actually looked it up. You okay over there? Stupid nullifier bubble. Stealing my stuff. Well, that sounded like there was a rare cache in there.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
But yeah, in contemporary, like, literature, at the very least, I know that, you know, Oberon and Titania are the king and queen of the Fae. Whatever exactly that means from where it originally came from, I have no idea.
This will only get more difficult. Get to a terminal. Prepare for enemy resistance.
There we go.
Location reached. Dropping in and defend your position.
And there we go.
This will take a moment.
Both from Celtic myths? Okay, we're just gonna have to pull it up. We'll have to consult ye old Wikipedia in a moment here. Oh, there's a candy. Hey, Draconian, how you doing today?
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Off we go. And there's another piece of candy. And not in there. Been having fun with the shroom? Yes, the shroom is very good. I actually want to play some more Noko today. I haven't played him a lot yet. Well, I mean, I played him a lot for the patch and whatnot, but I haven't played him a lot in the last few days. He's really fun, actually. You know what I like the most about him is that it's just the build diversity. He's such a viable kit overall that you can do some really interesting things with his build. That his fourth could bounce off of other Noko shrooms. I think I know why they chose to do that. A, so that you can't just sort of have other Nokos getting the double energy generation from it, but also because Bright Bonnet is his Helminth. So if you ran just a bunch of people running Bright Bonnet and a singular Noko, then you would be, you know, having infinite energy already, even though Noko already has infinite energy, basically. But it would just, I think it would cause, like, it could cause some potential problems there. So I think that's probably the reason why. But again, that's just me jumping to conclusions and like making a guess, right? I don't actually have any evidence for that. But that's kind of like, if I'm going to say that there's a reason, I would say that that might be the reason. That's not what I wanted to do, but thank you. I just bowed at that Stormcrow tone. Finally trying Musume. I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of gacha games, but when we're playing with friends and having fun, it was definitely enjoyable. Gacha games usually leave a very bad taste in my mouth, but yesterday was fun. I don't think I'll, like, play a whole lot of Musume at all, ever, but it was an enjoyable time. And that is what matters.
The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it. Mission complete.
We can bounce on each other's shrooms without any benefit. I think if... Actually, we should test that out, because I don't know. Hey, Jakes, how you doing today? I think that if you bounce on someone else's shroom, it will activate its pulse, but I could be wrong. What do you think as to what Noko's augments will be? I would love to see an augment that will make it so that you can only put one shroom down, but it's like a mega shroom. Just like like the stink brain, you can only put one stink brain down. but it just does like an incredible amount of damage or something very silly. I think that could be interesting. Okay, let's do the excavation next. Mega Shroomzilla, exactly. Like Titanic Rumbler for Atlas. Yeah, exactly, Dials. Hey, Pyromancer, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Graphicorn. Something like that. Like, those things already exist, right? So it may pull that sort of, thingamajigger. Need to get Manifold Bond and Restorative Bond, but they're 20k standing each, and your standing cap is 25k a day. Depending on what faction they're from, what you can do in order to sort of prepare and save yourself times for days when you don't have time to farm rep, is you can just sort of, bank a lot of reputation, right? Depending on what material you're farming and using for rep with them. That's what I would do. Which for the Osteron's the best, if you're wanting to bank rep, the sort of go-to with that is certainly, fishing. So then, like, you can just log in, if you don't have, like, a lot of time to farm or do stuff, then you just, you know, log in, do it, go crazy. And then you don't have to worry as much about your rep and everything. Just got to MR9 this morning? Heck yeah, you know. No, you are open. You didn't look like you would be open. Interesting.
This excavator is fully powered. Additional fuel cells will be used to restore its shields. The scanner has picked up a target. Go to the dig site.
What do I think of the Phantasma? Phantasm is fantastic. I mean, it's not like the best weapon in the world, don't get me wrong. It's not like gonna dethrone any of the other meta weapon, but it is a very good one. And I do enjoy it. It's got some really neat things, especially with using Crux to increase its ammo efficiency. It can do some pretty fun things. Dante? Yeah, I think the problem with Dante is that he's got, like, 6 abilities already. So, like, what could they do for him that would make augments for him that are interesting? You need Dante Prime? I hate to break it to you, that's gonna be like another 2 years. Oh yeah, that's right, I need to do that. I need to do the, 30 medallion thing. Not that I actually need that rep, but, you know, I'll never say no. Where the hell are all the tokens? Well, we got 5. Yeah, but I mean, rep is not really a, you just dual-wield Noctua, so you can double Hawktua on that thing. Ah, look at me, I'm mustard. Your idea for the no-goes 3? Sorry, I just missed it, Draconian. I'm a bit sleepy. Just IO on Jupiter? That's where I usually recommend people go to for farming that, yeah. You can be targeted, but you summon other Sproudlings that swarm people? I'd be so down for that. Listen, if you're pitching anything to do with minions to the guy who loves minions, I'm gonna be down for it. It's a pretty binary thing. If minion equals yes, Zenos is la happy. It's pretty simple. Need more uses for Kamisado? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm always down for minions. I love minion builds. Anything to do with minions makes me a happy camper. Oh, just a heads up, everybody. I'm just not feeling great today, so we're not going to be doing any suffers or anything today. Just, and if anyone donates the QTCC for the suffer donation, I'll do that another day. I just, I'm really not feeling the best. I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, I mean, the minion AI isn't the best, but it's, you know, still fun. I don't care if it's not the best. They're just fun for me. Oh. Oh. Just give him the oh. Just giving them Vobin's 1 AI would be good. That would be kind of fun. But again, anything to do with minions, I'm always game for. I may or may not have an addiction. Rate driven, just send it on over, Jinx. I'll take a look at it when I get to it. Drink my water. Okay, I guess. Hey, Paint. How you doing? There could be one up here. Oh, there's all 8 already. Very good. 3 to a channel or increase the duration of a 3 to a lot. I think there's a very good reason as to why the 3 has the duration it has. And that's because it's actually quite good. Just because it doesn't suit my playstyle doesn't mean that it's bad. You grab with like enough strength, you pick up one of those orbs and you're back up to like 1200 shields with one of those orbs in the 3. So I think that having the duration that it has is pretty reasonable. But you end up with so much like shields from picking up those orbs. I don't know if it's actually like 1100 shields when you pick it up, but it's like it's a really significant amount of shields. When you pick up one of those little balls that he drops out. What do I think of the new Zaku augment? I'm not really all that impressed by it, but I haven't really spent a good enough time investigating it to make a proper opinion. I'm always someone who likes to reserve my opinion until I actually give the thing a fair shot, but so far I'm not. It's fine. It's not great. It's neat. It's there. 7 stream streak. Wow. Find it odd that Noko's a shield tank, especially with his kit. I think it makes sense for his kit because it kind of flows into that whole thing with mushrooms that like some mushroom colonies are just a singular organism that are just giant and massive. So it doesn't really matter if one of them dies because the rest of them will still continue. And I think that's kind of like where I'm at with it. But I do get that it is a little bit odd. Yo, Maz, how you doing? Thinking about balance, the 3 augment may remove the healing balls and the invincibility in exchange for the sprawling army. That would be nice. Buddy, it's not your dinner yet. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. You will get your dinner at your dinner time, okay? Same day, same time every day. And you get fed 3 times a day. Chill the hell out, Max. You silly goose. Give the boy a treat. Okay. Here you go, bud. Right there for you. Just a treat. Can I do over for the next, you know, half an hour? Yeah, the new augment is for Lavos is actually really fun. It does need to be it needs to have better clarity in how it functions. It's a little bit it's not a little bit. It's very misleading with how it's written. So they do need to improve that. Did you also sit still? No, you just just come over here. Thank you. Now, hold still. There you go. Let me touch. The boy probably associates me sitting here with treats. Yeah, probably. He's figured out that if he just bothers me enough and I say something, then one of you will feed him treats. He's figured out the code.
This tower is ours now.
Yeah, no, the thing with voids is unlike orange cats who have a shared brain cell between the infinite amounts of orange cats. Voids, in fact, have stolen all of the orange cat's intelligence and utilize it for evil businesses, ventures. All right, I gotta run a quick ad break here, everybody. You know the deal. We gotta run ads every once in a while so that new people get pre-roll ads. Sit tight. What version of Every Time We Touch That? That was Electric Callboy. After working, it's over. Just got Electric Callboy tickets yesterday. Ooh, very nice. What would that imply? Sadly, it means that it would be one or the other. There's no in between. It would either be hyper intelligent or dumb as a brick. There is no in between. That is the way of cats. They're animals of extremes. Do it faster makes us stronger. Sometimes you think your orange boy is smart, that he does something dumb, so you take it back. Yeah, that's just kind of... Every once in a while, they get access to the one brain cell that they all collectively share and do something smart, and then they lose access to that brain cell. It's like a Netflix account. You can only be signed in so many times at once, right? There is no password sharing for orange cats. First ever Archimedia, and you got the final boss and kills you at full HP. Yeah, welcome to Archimedia. It can be sometimes a real jerk. That's why I always usually recommend people, if you're not 100% certain what you're doing when you're going into Archimedias, survivability is your most important thing. It doesn't. Your damage can be fixed with with weapons and so on and so forth. What about tabbies? Great question. They're a mystery. Tabbies and calicos, they're just chaos engines.
I have detected another message.
Did your first temporal with peeps from chat? Heck yeah! Something fun Lava's Augment can do that you didn't know if it's intended. You can release cooldown reducing pulse the same second it goes on cooldown, therefore reduces its own cooldown, making it have a 4-second cooldown instead of the 10-second cooldown it should have. Yeah, also, if you use Swift Bite, that can help to get the thing back out faster. Best Orcan farm, you can't seem to get a lot. Semene or Gabby on Ceres are typically the go-to spots for farming those. Ape Strong Together, welcome in. How you doing? And don't forget to always try to bring a loot frame if you got one. That's why I always recommend new players to make sure that they grab themselves a Necros early in the game. Get yourself them extra loots. You're so tired today? Me too, Rogue. Me too. But was not a stress-free introduction. Yeah, that sounds like it would be a little bit chaotic. Everybody becomes a loot box with Necros? True. Ooh. Best way to get Endo? You're always low on it? There's a bunch of very different ways to get Endo. I usually recommend doing the bounties that are in the later stages of the game. So the Noko bounties have pretty good Endo farm. The Hovania bounties, the Whisper in the Walls bounty in Sanctum Adonamaka, and the Angels of the Zarman bounties are also pretty good. If not those, I usually would say arbitrations. If you have a organized group, then the arena farm is the highest, highest amount of endo you can get, but you need an organized group. Blue 2 Cooler, thank you so much for both the follow as well as the Prime Gaming sub. Super appreciate you. Is Necros better than Korra with Strangledome? I prefer Necros because he's just constantly on, right? You throw an Equilibrium on there, it spawns health orbs, the health orbs turn into energy, which the energy gets eaten by Desecrate, and Desecrate spawns more health orbs to spawn more loot, and yada yada yada. So it's a little bit more simplistic and easier for people. I also tend to find that it's a little bit more consistent, but it's also largely personal preference. And the other thing is that with Necros, it's not like a cast onto the ground. It affects most enemies around you because it will melt down a body every third second. Like third of a second. So that's why I usually go that route. Endo rotation reward, that's good for early game Baby Tenno Endo farm? Yep, absolutely. Arbitrations now are also much earlier in the game, so it is a easier Endo farm too, right? It's just after Uranus now. So it's easier than it used to be. Or easier to access than it used to be, I should say. Which is the other reason why I make that recommendation, because now Arbitrations is more like a mid-game mission type. Whereas previously it was sort of tied to the exact same point as Steel Path.
Good work today. Not only have we decoded the enemy transmissions, we have also disrupted their communications.
Oh, Slender. Surely love using Atlas to make Grenier and Corpus catch these hands? Heck yeah. Ooh. Hey Snow, how you doing? GG! GG! Okay, who wants to join me for this interception here for the Gift of the Lotus? Which song is this? This is Auslander by Remsting. Echo, do you want back in for this? Okay, we got room for 2, if anyone would like to join us for the quick interception here. Let's actually play Noko. I haven't played Noko in a few days. It failed? No worries. Okay, anyone for these, for this alert with the 30 universal medallions? Auslander. Auslander. Me, boy. You're just booting up the game? Hot turbo. Alright, just let me know when you're in. Auslander. Auslander. Me, Auslander. Auslander. Hawk Tua. Oh, your name is ridiculous. But welcome on in. Hey, Kung Bob, how you doing today? Turbo, you're in? All right. Why aren't you showing up? It's because the thing didn't refresh. Okay, no one else is taking it, so let's grab Lilith. Oh, there we go. Don't think normal Cascade 92 rounds is that impressive with the team, but you hope you can improve? Listen, anything, as long as you're happy, that's the most important thing. That's the joy of Warframe. Off we go! Oh, what are we doing? Interception. Should be nice and easy. It's only a level 10 mission. Loki needs me? Loki doesn't need me. That's a lie. Hey, Coffee, been a while. How you doing? Oh, you know what I just realized? Noko's now the best intercept frame in the game. Because you just put down a stink brain at each objective. Huh. I didn't think about that till just now. Having pizza and an energy drink for breakfast. Ah, the true university student diet. Yeah, actually. Hey, just throw down a stink brain on each objective for intercept. And it just holds the point for you. You're too weak for the steel path. Okay, so you're probably not too weak for the steel path, but don't worry. That's a common misconception, and I'm happy to help you here, Steve Jobs. Also, good to see you back from the dead. What weapon should you get? Do you have any of the Kuva or Koda or Tenet weapons yet, Steve Jobs? All of them are fantastic. All of them are good into the late game of Warframe. All of them are good for the steel path. Otherwise, if you have access to any weapon that can get an Incarnate, you may not be ready to farm the Incarnates yet, but most of the weapons that get an Incarnate are still pretty good at the start of the steel path. And then once you're a little bit more comfortable, then you can farm towards getting the Incarnate. No, I was trying to see if I could, like, sandwich myself in between the mushroom in it and just cause, like, a bounce fiesta. It did not work. I was very sad. Is that being activated by my Nautilus? Hold on. Why is that activating growing power? I have to go back and test something. Did they make a change in the code with a hotfix recently? Oh, I've got to test that. When the Boar Incarnate comes back, the Boar Incarnate, I believe, is one of the ones that Calvaro always has, so you can buy it with Platinum if you really feel like it. If you're ever looking for the exact rotations, you can always check on the wiki site there. I haven't taken a look at it yet, Jinx. Your dog has the hiccups and it looks painful. Oh, poor Papa. Yeah, the wiki has the full rotations. So you'll be able to see there. That's interesting. Why is Spore Spring activating... Why is Spore Spring activating growing power? Did they make a change in the code? which means that it counts as weapon. That wasn't activating before.
They are broadcasting another message. Make sure the enemy never receives it.
Oh. Interesting. I think that it's Jinx, correct, like, I mean, someone could correct me if I'm wrong. I think that it's both. I think that he has a static option as well as the rotating option, but I could be very wrong on that. I haven't taken a look in a long time.
Tower captured.
My understanding was that he had both, but I could be wrong. Again, I haven't checked. I was making an assumption, so, and you know, as they say. Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Interception, everyone should just take one tower and defend it? Yeah, typically speaking. Unless, of course, you're doing a level 10, it doesn't really matter because you can just one-shot stuff with a sentinel. But typically speaking, yeah, you should just grab 1 point, defend it, but, you know, when we're in this type of a mission, it's not super necessary. All the people who call you stupid when you say that's automatically wrong? No, that's not true. Hey, love my videos. Only because of you, you're currently playing Warframe again. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Welcome back to Warframe. It's in a pretty good state. Put Cyto 9 in the helmet for evade? I mean, you should keep a Cyto 9 for yourself, absolutely. But yes, evade is also a very good ability, so you should certainly grab one. I would probably recommend farming another one. It's the best day it's ever been. I would say that it still needs a little bit, like, the game obviously is, you know, it would be ignorant to say the game's perfect because nothing, especially when it comes to artistry and things like this, I'm kind of the opinion that there's no such thing as perfection. But it is in a very, very good state right now. Low-level enemies die if orange cars look at them blankly? True. Why specifically orange cars, though, Jinx? Why orange? Out of everything that you could have chosen, why orange? Sane or each wheel? I do love Sane. I like more melodic things like that. Like, Sane has got that sort of a very melodic heaviness to it, if you will. And I really, really love music like that. Because they share half a brain cell? Do you say did you mean to say orange cat? Or did you say orange car? Or do orange cars also share the same brain cell as orange cats? Because that also would make sense. Cat equals car? Okay, understood. Just checking. Just double checking. Orange car is a meme? Oh, see, I'm old, so I don't know all these memes. Like, Rue needed to explain haunts to me. Alright, get my squad nerds. I gotta do a quick test here. No, void cats are specifically plotting the demise of everything. How does Chroma's helmets work? So what you do is you set your emissive channel to a specific color, and depending on what color you choose, it will do one of the 4 different elements. And if, depending on that, will give you different buffs, being cold, heat, toxin, or electric. Heat will gain you extra health and, give you an AoE heat status damage around you. Cold will Arachne. Cold will give you a ton of extra armor, and Cold will give you a bunch of extra armor and reflect damage back at your enemies. Toxin will give you holster reload speed and a toxin percentage health damage radius around you. And sorry, I'm just doing a quick little test here. And electric will give you 1.2. Why is my damage so low? What is going on? I've been saying this the last 2 days ever since this hotfix. My damage is much lower than it should be. Something actually has happened. Because that was hitting for 12k, not 1.2. And at this point, it would be hitting for millions. Something has changed here. Okay, I gotta run a quick ad break here. Everybody, you know the deal. We gotta run ads every once in a while so that new people don't get pre-roll ads. I'll be right back in a second, everybody. I just need to go to the washroom. Well, no, I was saying this with my compressor yesterday, but my stuff wasn't doing damage yesterday. Jesus, Flynn. Yeah, something is wrong here. Hold on, I can test this. I have the power. Did I delete the recordings from my video? Okay, that's Bright Bonnet. That's another one from Bright Bonnet. No, that is, okay, so that is the right one. Did I, no, this was not the damage one. Are you the damage one? That's with no strength. There's something weird here. No, this is unmodded. Right? We can tell this is unmodded because 30% strength being doubled to 60 is... Okay, there is something wrong here. Hold on. There is actually something wrong here. Hold on. Was there anything in the hotfix that said that they were fixing his damage? There is something wrong here. There's definitely something wrong here. This doesn't have to do with set bonuses. Oh, hey, sorry, Ace. I didn't see you wander back in. How you doing? It's doing no damage. Awful. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're okay. If you need to reach out, you're always welcome to shoot me a PM. No, this would have been this hotfix. So my strength is what it should be for unmodded. My energy, because I recorded this with extra efficiency and extra energy just so I could spam out abilities. Family matters, so you won't get into it. Understand, Ace. Either way, if you need any help, just feel free to shoot a PM. All right, hold on. Let's retest this. So I had one of those down, I had one of those down, and went like that. Okay, you didn't hit the brake on it when I needed you to. Thanks, bud. $62. 15, 20, 30, 50. There is something wrong here. Something changed. Did they backload it? Not dealing corrosive. Okay, thanks, Mushroom. 50. Did they backload it? No, I don't think that they nerfed Noko. I think what they did was... use this. 2... $62. Something happened here. Yeah, something happened. See, that was the expected damage value there. 1.2. And then 50k... See if we can catch an eye of the person who it hits there. No. What it... So this is the thing, right? The damage on this seems to be greatly reduced. But what happened? Was there... anything in this patch? Not that one, this one. No. So the 62 and the 50K, I'm chalking up to viral being spread. What's the main difference here is it just feels like Noko's damage is not nearly what it was pre-hotfix. So if we go over to this build here. Scintillant, I'm 99% certain that that is... Sorry, I gotta go to run this into a mission here real quick. Let me see if I can pull up if I have any footage of my pillage build. Is this my pillage build? Yes, this is my pillage build. These are the 180s. $33. I'm trying to find like a red crit in here. That was 600. I know that there's a point where I just watch the balls bouncing. Here it is. $2.3. Growing power's active. Okay, so bright bond. Okay, so that was always activating growing power. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the Scintillant are from the ISO vaults in Demos. That's the only place to farm them. They're the little floaty fish in the ISO vaults in Demos. Okay, hold on. Let's just grab my Strun. Because I was noticing yesterday that my Compressor wasn't doing nearly as much damage as it was previously. So that's why now it kind of feels like there is something wrong, and that it's not just my insanity. Feels like they're not being applied to his abilities? Yeah, it's odd. Something feels odd. Look at that, I even got the same room. Something feels off. What do I think of Noko? Noko's incredible, but I'm trying to figure out if there's a bug happening right now or if I'm losing my mind. Okay, that's kind of to be expected, considering I didn't pillage them. 2.5. Best Immortal build? Well, Immortal's not a frame. I mean, if you're looking for something that's just extremely tanky, and, like, death has no consequence, you'd be looking at, like, or you just don't, it's impossible for you to die, you'd be looking at, like, Revenant or Oberon. And if not them, Noko's doesn't care about death because of Noko's passive. Valkyr, same thing. I mean, Dante can die if you're just not paying attention, right? The rest of those frames are, you know, as long as you're hitting stuff and doing stuff, you're not dying. Ever. Attention span is the leading cause of death of Tenno, as we know. But Noko is functionally immortal because as long as you have one of these shrooms down, your death doesn't matter. Revenant with the amount of... or not Revenant. Revenant just straight up is immortal. It's dumb. Oberon is basically immortal with his new passive, as long as you're picking up health orbs or universal orbs. And a whole bunch of others. Still don't understand somehow got Gauss Prime, and you want to make him the best build? Oh, Gauss is fantastic. Gauss has got a lot of fantastic functions and capabilities. You can make him kind of a little bit of anything. Gun platform, melee platform, caster. You can do a little bit of everything with him. There's some neat tech around Arcane Aegis, but you're a new player, so you probably don't have Arcane Aegis yet, so don't worry about it. That allows him to be incredibly strong. Okay. I feel like I'm not going crazy. Huh. You're trying to get Arcane Aegis, but you don't have a clue how? So you can do trading with other people. Once you're at the point where you can start steadily farming Arcanes, aka being on the Steel Path, you can trade to a vendor in the Sanctum Adonomica for, actually, I'll show you how to do it. Right here. Actually, also, you can just, Arcanes. Or Arcane. Where the hell did the playlist go? Man, Stream Elements, we're gonna fight. This playlist here has how to trade your arcanes in at a vendor in here, so you can trade your arcanes in and get arcanes from other areas. Arcane Aegis drops from the Eidolons otherwise, and in the trading in called the Vosper system or the Arcane Dissolution system, you can get that pretty easily. Wukong, how's it going? Cardi, what's up? What you got? Ooh, Putty. She evil. Ooh, actually, I really like that fashion. This is probably the best use of red, black, and gold I've ever seen. Ooh, that looks good too. Chronomus, welcome in. Yeah, I find Noko to be very difficult to fashion. Ooh, I also like that. Queen of Hearts? Oh, yeah, a little bit like Queen of Hearts, you're right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. AJ, what you got? Latron. Doesn't, yeah, that's a very good one. Merciless, that's fine. I'm a big believer of Shred. Like, this, viral that you're running on here, I would probably just run Cold and then run Shred, instead of Malignant Force. But, you could also just get rid of Serration here, right? You got your neutral damage here, and you got your neutral damage here. And, Levy, if you want to, there's my Noko video there, and I go over all that stuff there. I don't remember if the Latron has multiplicative gun co or not. I don't think so. But I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again. Wake me up. It doesn't say that it does. It is multiplying. Yes, it is. Hi, buddy. It is multiplying. So actually, this is, so for those who don't know, multiplicative gun co means that this damage here is actually multiplicative, not additive. And if you don't know what multiplicative means in the case of Warframe, it's instead of 3 plus 3, it's 3 times 3. Significantly higher damage. Obviously, it scales up above that because we're at thousands, so it's quite strong. So running Serration here as well as Prime Merciless is a good call. The only thing I would say here is maybe Shred on here. You could run Cold, and you could swap this out for Frostbite, so then you can have the whole Frostbite tech, but also this has the puncture causing, the puncture reducing people's armor, which can also be quite powerful if you don't have an armor strip on your frame, so that's also good to know, or good to have. But in that way, then you're diluting your statuses out of out of the puncture with viral. So that's up to you. I like high fire rate. I like having more fire rate. I like having punch through on weapons. That's what I would probably run, but it's not like your build's bad here. Your build's very good. For your Gauss. Ooh, black and gold, black and red. It's classic for a reason. Volt, black and red. It's classic for a reason. Looks good. Noko. Yeah, you know, Noko's hard to fashion. I haven't been able to get one that I'm super pleased with yet. But the black, red, and blue there looks good. Redirection, adaptation. You can regenerate your shield using reroute. Growing power, power drift, overextended. How much power strength you got? You got pretty decent power strength. Flow, continuity, multi-augmented arcane aegis. Yeah, looks good. Nothing really to say here. Because you can use reroute as your emergency jump in to cleanse yourself, immortality, shield regeneration by picking up the balls. So it's actually quite useful. So what you have here should be pretty solid. I'm not really personally a big fan of redirection on here, but if you like just having that extra shields just to absorb damage with your adaptation and Aegis, I totally get you. Redacted, what you got? Ooh, that's cool looking too. Gas with the Latron for the fire rate, because Redline giving fire rate, so no need for Shred IMO. It's more the punch through, AJ. Right? Why hit one person when hit 6 people? Right? You just multiplied your damage by 6. Well, not in the incarnate form, but if you're using it for, if you're thinking of only just for fire rate, absolutely. I'm someone who super values, I'm someone who super values punch through. But at the end of the day, do what fits best for you. Your build there, like I said, is certainly not bad. It's very good. That's just sort of what I would do for my style of build. Multi-shot critical chance, not bad at all. You could obviously roll something better, you know, like multi-shot crit chance and crit damage, but like I wouldn't keep rolling that. That's super solid. Shred's really good for getting your headshots built up fast. Yeah, and that's the other side of it, right? Hey, Zargon. How you doing? Iron, a Broken War, Vortex, Magnetic Viral, 60% follow through, Berserker Fury with Magnetic Rush, Viral. The only thing I would say here is Cold 60-60 Iron. Get your status chance up a little bit more. You don't have Weeping Wounds on here, right? So you don't have any status generation here. You also don't have any neutral damage here. So, like, replace this with, like, Condition Overload. And replace this with a 60-60. And hell, I'd probably replace this with Weeping Wounds. Because you're getting critical damage from here. Although, if you do like having the higher critical damage, I do get you. Can we get a new clan message? Oh, yeah, I should probably fix that. We'll do that later, if I remember. I would probably say get yourself a neutral damage on here. Iron. Condition Overload, Prime Pressure Point, something like that. Tank, what you got? Cedo. I probably wouldn't run Elementalist on here, on the Cedo. The status damage is not really doing a whole lot for you, right? You don't really have a lot of elements here that are doing statuses. Now, the alt-fire, of course, does apply the base statuses, which, of course, heat, toxin, and electricity all do it. But you've got just sort of not a whole lot of damage on here to really take advantage of that. Now, that said, it's not like a bad choice. And if you like it, I hear you. So it's largely personal preference. And it should actually be fine, considering the amount of damage and his passive and this and Deadhead. So you should be fine, actually. For like, boosting, getting your elemental damage up so that this can help it further. Yeah, I take it back. I take it back, actually. On further thought, I take it back. Pseudo Prime. See, this is the one that I generally prefer. How do you unlock the Steel Path? You've done everything in main story. You need to complete the star chart pre-New War. So you must finish every single node pre-New War. So everything here except for this area, and Holvania. AKA Warframe 99. You need to finish all of the nodes on the map. None of them can be looking like this. And as Dova said there, if you go into any relay, go talk to Teshin. Teshin will tell you, what you still need to complete. Kuva Fortress? To my knowledge, you need the Kuva Fortress finished. To the best of my recollection, you need the Kuva Fortress finished. I, as always, could be wrong. Been wrong before, be wrong again. How am I? I'm alive. Yeah, Kuva Fortress is pre-New War, yeah. So, again, that would be my understanding. I'm alive. Yeah, tank, I actually prefer this build here. The crit status hybrid one that you have here. You did New War, but pre-New War. Yeah, so everything that's unlocked before you go into the New War. It doesn't matter if you do it after you've done the New War. Don't worry about that. You haven't screwed yourself over. The devs aren't that crazy. But it's you need to finish all of the star chart missions before, like, before any of the other areas that get unlocked after the New War, is sort of a better way to say it. Code Catalyst. Critical mutation, good critical damage, Cascade of Flare for the bonus heat damage, primed heated charge when you can get it. This is your crit chance, so you don't need to mod for crit chance, prime target cracker. The only thing I could say here is you got 2 heat mods. If you have it, magnetic gunfight right here. Also, keep in mind that galvanized shot only is on direct damage, so when you do the reload to throw your grenades, unless you get a direct hit with your grenade, this will not be activating. But that is okay because you just, you know, the grenades just won't get that damage, right? The grenades will still get this damage. But just keep that in mind, is that the AoE of the grenades, when you do the reload mechanic, won't gain the bonus damage from this. But if you direct hit with the grenades, it will. So you could play around it, but you should be fine. I would probably replace Scorch with Magnetic Might. Get some more critical damage. Also get another element for your galvanized shot for your main fire mode. Would probably help you out. But I think the rest of your builds are fine there, tank. Turbo and Araxia. Ooh. Ooh, Depody. Shipody. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, you know what? I remember yesterday I said that I didn't like green. I like the green on there. That actually looks really good, Turbo. Fluffy Rhino and Noko. I think you need to match the color you're assigned on to the color on your Warframe, which I can't really tell because the ephemera just washes everything out, so I can't really see with this ephemera on here. But, like, I don't know where this brown is matching in on the Noko, but I would try to get some matching on there. Fluffy Rhino. Noko, Crepuscular, high range, very high range. Very high range is fine. I mean, if you got prime sure-footed, obviously. However, if you felt like it, you could probably drop Mecha, or drop Augur Reach for the other Mecha mod if you wanted to go into that route. You would drop down to 250 range, which is perfectly fine. Just sort of an idea for you there. Yeah, the armor doesn't really matter for you, but it would reduce the mecha cooldown down to half a second. So just as an idea. Also, keep in mind that right now, the mecha set, all set bonuses are not functional right now. It is currently bugged. Set bonuses are not functional at the moment. So just keep that in mind. Kubicomb. Projectile speed's actually not a bad thing to have on shotguns because it will increase its fall-off range. Multi-shot and Toxin. I would remove your Toxin Barrage. You've got Toxin here. This is a dead mod slot for you. I think all mod slot, all set bonuses are bugged. Don't quote me on that though. I'm like 90% certain. So what I would do here is Magnetic Strafe for the fire rate. You also don't have a crit mod on here. So maybe replace this with a crit mod, right? You're modding for crit damage, but you have no crit chance. So I would definitely switch this out for a crit mod here. Because you already got viral here, right? So you don't need crit damage. Or you don't need toxic barrage. So I would switch this out for crit chance. Because right now you got sauce, but you ain't got no pasta. Saginator, Shred, Deadhead, Multi-Shot, Critical Damage, Critical Chance Damage minus Zoom. Holy crap, what an outrageous ribbon. Nothing to say here, Vigilante Supplies. Get another form on here, throw Vigilante Supplies on there for the extra chance at a crit shot, or higher crit tier. But Saginator, that's a very, very well done. Very nice ribbon. Is Viral, like, basically doing damage over time? No, so Viral is a debuff that increases your damage. So when you have, for each stack on it, it will increase your damage to health. So that's armor and, so that's yellow health bars and red health bars, not blue health bars. It does not work against shields, but it'll increase your damage against those sources while it's on there. And when you have 10 stacks, it's like 325% bonus damage against those enemies. If you're looking for a damage over time, a DOT, that would be heat slash, toxin, gas, or technically not blast, but it is a lingering damage effect, but technically not a damage over time. It's a little bit weird. But those are all different things there. And magnetic is viral for shields and overguard, yeah. Which sets? All of them. Carnus, Gladiator, Mecha, Nera, Saxum, Synth, Tech, Vigilante. Ooh. I think I would bring this white up a little bit here. Like less gray, but more white here, just so you get a little bit more contrast. Like, see how the white is on the shoulder pads here? Savantis? If this white matched, if this white on the arm, like armor, matched the shoulder pads, I think that would look a little bit better. But again, that's always a personal preference thing with fashion. Valhalla. Thanks, Rooney, for the follow. Welcome in. Ooh, that's kind of cool looking, Valhalla. A little bit different, but looks nice. Sun and Moon build, for my opinion. Okay, so it's a crit status hybrid. Weeping Wounds, so you're getting more status chance there. Switch this out for Condition Overload. Don't use Heavy Trauma. Heavy Trauma has a very, very niche use cases on like 3 things. I would not be running it here. Switch this out for Condition Overload. Right? So because you got good status chance because of this, and because of all this, so you get lots of damage. Weeping Wounds will boost that up further, and I would switch this out for a Blind Rage, because you already are going into crits, and this is your crit damage mod. So I'd switch this out for a Blind Rage, and then you should be good. I had to step out for a bit, figure out why Noko's damage was low. I think that it wasn't low, I think I'm just losing my mind. Dave. I think I'm just losing my mind. Blood Rush and not Blind Rage? I mean, it's just personal, you know, people are learning, Coffin. That's all. Certainly want to keep rolling this one. Definitely want to keep rolling this. This is more of a status slash, like a status inclined crit status hybrid, right? It's got 32% status chance and 2.2 crit damage, but only 18% critical chance. So you'd be looking towards playing around that. So crit chance, crit damage, multi-shot, status chance, element of choice, that type of thing on here. You think it's just the viral stacks? Yeah, the viral, like, and when I was doing the testing there, that's kind of what it felt like. Is condition overload worth it when you only have 2 status effects? If you don't have a status priming companion, then no, right? It's what, 80% damage each status? So 160 versus 165 when prime pressure points at max. So just right there. If you got a companion doing some status priming, yeah. So I don't really know much about arc guns yet, so I don't really got much of a anything to say here. The minus ammo maximum is actually a killer, because arc guns have ammo pool that is very low, like not low, but it's when you run out, it's gone, and you got to wait 5 minutes to resummon it. So the minus ammo maximum here is actually really bad. The rest of those stats are fine, but the ammo maximum actually kills this ribbon, at least in my opinion. Status chance is fine. You don't really need that. Multi-shot, yeah, that's fine. I haven't really done a whole lot on focusing on arc guns yet, so I don't really have like any information really. I've just been too busy doing other stuff. One thing to keep in mind is because you have secondary enervate here, you don't want to be using a crit mod, right? This is your crit mod. You don't care about crit mods on here because your on here is just making this worse, and this is better than 50%, right? So I would remove that and then get some like elemental 60/60s for these last 3 spots here. Ordinata Prime, yeah, just throw on whatever you got. Like, you're not really ever using your Arcwing, realistically speaking, so you don't need to be too worried about it. Orthonyx, yeah, again, I don't know anything about arc weapons and stuff, because arc melees are dead in the game. The devs haven't done anything with arc melees in years. Kuva Grattler, ooh, cool fashion though. And I do, well, why can't I turn this around? Weird. Ornix, yeah, I don't know anything about arc. Arc weapons are so, Blind Rage? Did I say Blind Rage? It's Blood Rush is what I said, or what I thought I said, so my apologies. The crit chance mod. The one that gives you 1 billion crit chance. Vauban. If you got the Baro Katir Signa Dragon Love, that would look really good on here. Instead of this one. But the rest of that fashion looks really nice. Delos. Do we see this already, Will? Yo, Blue. What song? Better Frame of Mind. Or Frame of Mind by Faint and somebody. Tristram and Bracken. Release Hammer Shot with Shred. That's it. Or some form of fire rate. That's what I would do here. The rest of this is great. That's a nice ribbon too. Kulovo. Ooh, that's nice. I like the sort of blue shining through there. How am I doing today? I'm managing. What are you up to today? Okay, Hunter Adrenaline does not work on here. If you read this carefully, right? Without ally overguard imitates health. You are not your own ally in this case. So if you have recompense active, you do not gain energy from Hunter Adrenaline. And of course, you're always going to have recompense active. You are not gaining any energy from this. You have Equilibrium here. If you have Arc on Stretch, you can use Arc on Stretch with a companion. Thoughts on Nova? One of the best frames in the game. Has been ever since a rework last fall. Arc on Stretch here for extra energy regeneration. This does not function here, right? Ally Overguard, not your own Overguard. If you need health regeneration, I would recommend Arcane Reaper instead of this one. And for your last mod slot, you could go Overguard. For your last slot, you go Rolling Guard just for periods of invulnerability for when your recompense falls off. or I would just say more power strength, because Kulevo is very much power strength is good times. More power strength, more good. Again, also, however, you don't really need health regeneration. This is like, if you want health regeneration, I get it. I would go for Arcane Reaper over this. Arcane Reaper is harder to get these days than Arcane Grace, but it's largely personal. But I would say something to increase your melee damage even further, like Fury, or whatever the attack speed one is. And instead of Hunter Adrenaline, as Dova said there, Volatile Recompense Augment is probably not a bad choice. Nidus Fashion. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, I gotta run a quick ad break here, everybody. You know the deal. We gotta run ads every once in a while so that new people don't get pre-roll ads. If you don't like ads, you kind of like me and want to support the community, Twitch sub, Twitch Turbo. Otherwise, I'll be back in just a few minutes. I gotta feed the cat, so I'll be back in a few. Okay, we're back. We're back. All right, let's stop taking a look at people's stuff and let's go do some relics. We got a good mission here by chance? We got survival. Okay, who wants to join me? Who would like to come? I'm gonna use the roar build this time. Iron, redacted, and Kung Bob. What's your in-game name, Kung Bob? New Caliban augment annoying in multiplayer games? I've never had problems with it. Why is it annoying in multiplayer games? People in the squad, do you need anything specific? Ooh, you know what? I have never liked this. Steals enemies? It just groups up enemies for you. You should be thanking the Caliban for grouping everything for you. Guandao. What part do you need for the Guandao? I've got many relics. Yeah, if we do non-steel path, absolutely. What part do you need for the Guandao? But he runs off with them, then just, you know, just like watch him go by, and as he goes, just follow where he ends. It only lasts, the spin only lasts like 2 minutes, or 2 seconds. It's not very long. It would be pretty easy to just be like, oh look, there he goes. Boop, boop, boop. Nudges in the oven? Heck yeah! You need all the parts? Alrighty. Then let's find something that I need relics for. Let's do Titania. The Hildren health tank? I have seen it. I assume you're talking about the Hildren health tank using parasitic armor? Or parasitic shields? Oh, there's a good room here. Perfect. Oh, you know what I forgot to test? I knew I forgot to test something. I forgot to test because this is activating... That is activating growing power, and I didn't think it was activating growing power before. But I forgot to test to see if it was activating, if it was activating... Dragon Love, do you want to join us over in this room just so that all the enemies will spawn together in a room? In one spot, so that it leads to more violence for all of us, and then you can also get a nice tasty roar buff out of it too. Roar! Second forward fire work with null stars. If you do the heat inherent thing, yes. Right, so you apply a heat effect with your first ability, with your secondary, which has whatchamacallit on it. You know the thing. Has heat mods on it, so it applies a heat effect on your secondary, and then you have secondary fortifier on it. That will. Where's all the enemies? The enemies are like stuck back here? No, they're not stuck anywhere. Where are all the enemies? Yeah, Blade. Sorry, so you apply a heat effect with your secondary first, and then null stars with the null stars augment will apply more heat effects, and because heat inherent will carry over influence or fortifier, you can get some pretty silly shenanigans out of that. Where are all the enemies? So, as long as you're using the neutron star augment and you have secondary fortifier on a pistol and you use the pistol to apply the heat effect first, then yes, it does work that way. Oh, just a casual 400% strength roar buff, don't mind me. How many hours do I have in the game? On this account, 5,000. It does not include my PS4 account, which was where my main account for many years. So, probably somewhere close to 7,000 or 8,000, maybe more than that. Yeah, where's the enemies? Is this bug back where they're not, you know, the enemies in this place are being weird again? Yeah, it does feel like my damage has been reduced a lot lately. I don't know why my damage is feeling weird. Do I have any tips? What are you feeling overwhelmed by? I've got lots of tips. The most important thing to remember is that Warframe is a marathon, not a sprint, right? You will get to it when you get to it. There is zero rush. There's not really any FOMO in Warframe, so you're never really going to have any issues sort of with, you know, if you need to take a break or if you need to go at your own pace. There's no problems with going a little bit slower. Did Whisper in the Walls... Do we have the spawn bug again in Whisper in the Walls tile sets? But yeah, one of the most important things in Warframe is just to take your time on things. Like, you're not in any rush, right? There's no reason to feel rushed or anything like that. You will get to where you want to. So the bug was previously that enemies would just get, like, in the Whisper in the Walls because the way the enemy pathing works is they would just get stuck in doorways and stuff. So, Unlock every planet. Sometimes when you try to do some missions, the open world selection like Cetus, the enemies seem unkillable. Okay, so yeah, you should absolutely unlock every planet. One of the biggest things, so it sounds like you're very in the early stages of the game, Void, so welcome on in. We love new Tenno. Everyone say hello to the baby Tenno. But one of the biggest things to remember is, inside of your orbiter, you will have a thing called the Codex. Inside of the Codex, there is a section called your main quests. So my biggest recommendation for you, if you're ever feeling lost, is take a look at your main quests and work from there. The other thing to remember is, you know, if you're having issues in one certain area, it's okay to ignore that area for the moment and come back to it later on, right? So if you're not able to go through this, go through Cetus at the moment, just come back to it later. Cetus can, the Plains of Eidolon can be a little bit difficult, absolutely. So depending on where you're at in the game, it can be a little bit difficult to play. But the biggest, most important thing for you to do is and the biggest thing that I always recommend people to do is the main story quests. And as Hellblade said, we have a very welcoming and happy to help community. A lot of things that you don't fully understand, yeah, so we're always here to give you a hand. And we have a really awesome Discord community that's lovingly taken care of by my mods, who are always happy to answer any question that you may have, and here to give you a hand. Yeah, so alliances are just essentially a clan function that allows you to have different clans working together on stuff. It's not... Oh! Sorry, Iron. I tried. Hold on, I'll be back. Whee! Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted today, my apologies. I'm not being the best helpful person today. Can't even tell what's happening on my screen right now. To be fair, this is like super late stage. It's okay that you don't know what's happening here. It's we're in like the late, like I'm playing the sort of highest level like build crafting stuff, so you don't need to worry about that right now. I've been playing this game for years upon years, so definitely don't judge a new player expectations on what I do. The most important thing for you to do is work through your story quests. The story quests will explain a lot of stuff inside of the game, and you will get a lot of information out of it. So the biggest, most important thing for you to do is focus on those. Yeah, a new quest that helps with understanding. Yeah, it's very basic with understanding how to do mods and so on and so forth. But yeah, once I get out of this mission, Void, if you're just hanging around a little bit today, I'll be happy to go to my orbiter and show you where in the orbiter is your codex, which is sort of where your essential guidebook for the basic stuff inside of the game. The teacher is a tutorial quest teaching you the very basics of modding. Like how to level up mods, how to equip mods, and stuff like that. And it is meant to be just a new player, hey, this is what you need to do type thing. So I will get you that sort of, I will show you where that is and give you some of that direction there. With the katana, yeah, so that you may have already done that one, yeah. That guy's name is Teshin. Okay, I gotta run some quick ads here, everybody. You know the deal. We gotta run ads every once in a while so that new people don't get pre-roll ads. Sit tight. See you in a moment. Here you go. If you want to join our Discord, there's a link for y'all. And there you go, the nice tubes. Yeah, you'll see Teshin again, don't worry. The NPCs disappear for a little while, they come back, they disappear, they come back. How to make combos with them? No worries. Over. Today, what's inside? Hey, Coach Jade, how you doing? Oh, right, you joked NPC. I see. I understand where the joke is now. I'm but a dum-dum. Void, I will show you what everyone's talking about once I get out of here. So don't worry. Just sit tight. All this will make sense when you have a visual representation. So don't you worry. What they're explaining is something that is probably a little bit above what you need to worry about at this moment. So don't worry too much about all of that right at this moment. Hey, Lord Knight, how you doing? So there's a few different types of defenses that enemies have in the game. Void, right? There's armor, which are yellow health bars like that. And then there's shields, which are blue health bars. And then there's also a few variations on that, but you don't need to worry about that right now. That's sort of the super basics. Certain types of elements are very strong against certain types of defenses. And depending on which type of enemy and faction that you're dealing with, have different types of elements attached to them that will be better against them. If you are in your orbiter right now, if you go into your mission select area, aka navigation, you will see when you hover over a mission in your star chart, you'll see, you'll notice that there are a few interesting things there. You'll see what the mission is, what kind of mission it is, but then you'll also see the damage vulnerabilities that the enemies in that mission take bonus damage from. Or, in the case of certain enemies, that they're resistant to. So, for instance, certain enemies, like these enemies here, take more damage from the radiation status effect, right? So these guys will take bonus damage from radiation. Corpus will take bonus damage from magnetic. Elite Corpus, aka Amalgam Corpus, but you won't meet those for quite a while, take bonus damage from electric, and that was kind of what they were teaching you about in the quest there, is that even though defenses look the same, they do, they may take damage, they may need a different element there. Kill them faster because of radiation? Exactly. So radiation damage will do more damage to the enemies in this specific mission. Right? And for instance, Grenier will take more damage from corrosive and things like that. But I will show you all of this as soon as I get out of here so you can see a little bit better visually, because I always find people need that extra help. Railjack guide recommendations stuck mostly the issue you need other players to play Railjack missions effectively. You don't necessarily need other players, Lord Nil. It is very helpful to have other players, you're absolutely right, but it's not necessary. There are, there's an NPC in Fortuna called Ticker, T-I-C-K-E-R. We love her, she's great. And, one of my favorite NPCs in the game. There is a, you can hire NPCs to help you out on your ship when you're solo. So you don't need, you don't necessarily need other players, but there is the others there too. And if you give me a minute here, I can show you exactly who I'm talking about, where they are, and what I'm talking about once I'm done here. So we'll do a quick little thing for Void, and then we'll pull up that info for you as well. Once I'm done in this mission in the next 5-ish minutes. You got your PC built? Heck yeah! Congratulations, Techno. Yeah, so, Void, the important thing to remember is that this game is very long, right? So these NPCs you may not interact with at the moment, they may come back, or these enemies, they may come back, right? We've got a lot of baddies that we deal with in this game. The story is really, really nice. I actually think that Warframe story is really, really well done. It is a bit confusing, though, and I won't lie. There's a lot in the story that is very confusing as you go on, but don't feel overwhelmed by it. You will get there. And there's wonderful creators out there. If you want some good, like, lore guides, Korg the Mighty is a fantastic creator who has lots of information on that. Their YouTube channel is quite good for that. Then there's also Stall Lord D and a few others, but I would recommend playing through the story first yourself before going to look at any story spoilers. Yes, you should absolutely join a clan if you have the opportunity to. And if you would like a clan, but you don't have any friends who are already in the game who have a clan active, you are absolutely welcome to come join my clan. It is a very bare bones clan, but it's there just to give you a hand. You met him on Fortuna? That might be Nefalnio. You're a vegetable, so you need to die out? No worries, Iron. What's happening? Just playing some Warframe. What's happening with you? Yeah, if people aren't familiar with the idea that is time travel stuff, but don't worry about that yet, new baby Tenno. Don't you worry. You will find out the story as you go. Do not be any stressed. Think of Nefalnio as Space Jeff Bezos? No, it's more like Space Elon Musk. Completely incompetent, thinks they're a lot better than they actually are, and steals ideas from other people. Guys, you need to let Iron die. Redacted. Dragon. Iron is a vegetable. Iron needs to just die out. Unless, Iron, you've had that fixed, but going by the fact that you haven't said that you had it fixed, I'm assuming you need to do the unvegetabling. Yep, okay, just let Iron die out, squad. It's fine, they'll be fine. Alright, we got another couple of minutes here. Yeah, enemy spawning seems to be a little borked again in Whispers. Find massive robots that take literally no damage and drones that are basically immortal. That does happen from time to time, yes. So that would probably be the Thumpers that someone mentioned earlier is one of them. And then there's the big spider bosses, the Prophet Taker and Exploiter Orb, which is the other ones that you may be experiencing. And those are bosses that have special missions to go hunt down later on. But don't worry too much about those. Did some mushroom pillars, the energy never went down? Yep. Ripe on it. Noko's crazy. What chat? Tech heads. Tech nerds? Yeah, whatever one that says tech on it. I thought it was tech head, but if it's not tech head, then it's tech nerds. Okay, head to extract nerds. We're out of here. Yeah, if it's a random boss that doesn't seem like you can kill and fight, then don't worry about it for now. There are a number of them that just sort of like wander the world that are something that you deal with later on. Right? But they exist there still in the open worlds for you to like be like, what the hell? There's a giant robot coming to kill me! And you can just ignore them for now, don't worry. And then destroyed you? Like, why? You must suffer. That's why. All Tenno must suffer eventually. It's so that you can have the fear of God in you, so then when you actually fight them, and you feel so much more powerful when you are actually supposed to fight them. But don't worry about them for now. Can you steal me for a visit? Yeah, let me just help out the baby Tenno first, and then I will come take a look. Orkin Reactor Blueprints. You can get Orkin Reactor Blueprints in a few different ways. You can get them from Nightwave, and sometimes from events or the Halvania calendar if you're at this point. The Halvania calendar will have Orkin Reactors every once in a while here. Not this week. Yeah, this week right here. See? You can get them in a few different ways. Okay, so let me pop over to my Orbiter. So this is just a reskin of the Orbiter. Don't worry about it. You'll find out about it later. It's literally just a different fashion for it. So don't worry too much about that. What'd you miss? So much. So here's your Orbiter, right? Orbiter. Void. This right here is your best friend. If you ever feel lost, focus on this big panel right here, main quests, and just work through these. You will eventually get through everything. You will find new systems, and like game systems is what I mean by that. Like it will unlock new things, it'll unlock various functions in the game, and so on and so forth. So as to weapon elemental stuff, so you have Thank you. So if you go into your weapon, right? Elements here. Oh, sorry, let me go over here first. So if you go here, inside of your star chart, and we'll turn this to regular path. Inside of your star chart, if you hover over this, it'll say what the mission is, right? So this is Mantle. It's a capture mission. You'll be facing Grineer type enemies, the Grineer faction. And the suggested damage type is impact or corrosive. So those two symbols there, besides suggested damage, the little hammer is called impact, and the little teardrop, the water drop inside of the cup is called corrosive. So, if we wanted to go fight them, we can go over here, and we can take a look at our weapon. So we see our weapon has impact damage, but it's not a lot of impact, right? So that's okay. But what we can do is get an element on here. So in this search bar here, right, you can actually type in corrosive, and it will tell you all the mods you have that can make up corrosive. So pathogen rounds and convulsion, when combined, makes corrosive, right? So this, and then if you hover over the element, it'll tell you what this element is good against. So damage efficacy. Grineer does more damage to Grineer, does more damage to Kuva Grineer, does more damage to Skaldra. Those last two are enemies that you will face later on, don't worry about it for now. Does only half damage to a Sentient. Again, that's an enemy that you'll face later. So we look at that and then we're like, okay, cool. But I want to throw on another element on here. So let me throw on magnetic. Oh, okay, hold on, wait a second. Now, I thought I was trying to make magnetic. But now it's turned into cold and corrosive. Huh, that's weird. So the reason why is the electric that you need to make magnetic is getting sucked into your corrosive. Yo, Mika. So you can't have certain elemental combinations together because they both require the same element in order to make that combination. So, if, for instance, then in this case, if you wanted to make something different, then you can switch around the mods, or you can just try something else here. So we got Toxin, we got Electric, we got Cold, and the other base one is Heat. So then we can throw on Heat on here. And now we've got Corrosive and Blast, right? So Blast is made up of Heat and Cold. As we can see here, Heat and Cold makes Blast. Now the important thing to remember that someone else was trying to inform you about, but made it a little bit more confusing, is if you type in Corrosive, it is, so the way that element's combined is from the top right, or top left, sorry, down to the bottom right. So it goes along here, and then it goes along here. If you put another element here, instead of electric and toxin making corrosive, and you put in heat here, up here, see, now it becomes radiation, because it combines from here, here, then here, then here. Bop, and then bop. Okay? So basically you merge elements, precisely. But depending on where you put your elements in here, it will change up the way that the elements combine. So for instance, this is radiation and toxin, whereas if I move this over here, it becomes corrosive and heat, right? So that's what someone else was trying to explain to you there. So then when we go back over here, we take a look. Oh, these enemies are weak to electric and radiation, but they don't take very much damage to viral. So that means we don't want to be bringing viral against these enemies necessarily. It's still fine to bring viral, don't worry. It just means that they're doing less damage to these enemies here. And then the radiation and the electric is higher damage against these enemies, and you get a damage multiplier. So that's sort of a basics to do with elementals and moddings, and just sort of an extension to what you learned in the teacher. So going forward from here, the biggest thing that I would recommend is you go from Earth, then you go to Venus, then you go to Mercury, then you head towards Mars, and then you complete the star chart. But the most important thing is to do these things here, which are your quests. Do these. Okay, I gotta run a quick ad break here. Y'all know the deal. Sit tight in a second. And while we're stuck in that ad break, Mika, what's up? What be up, Mika? Lord Nil, going back to your question, So you can get Orkan reactors from Nightwave using Nightwave creds. As a reminder, everybody, Nightwave expires on Monday. Spend your creds, everybody. It expires on Monday. So make sure that you use your creds. Doubles, Noko's Bright on it, yes. How do you open the gold gate in the Sanctum quests? Oh, I have no idea. I've never bothered doing those stuff. Is it supposed to happen with the subsumed version of Bright Bonnet? To my knowledge, the subsumed version of Bright Bonnet has a max of 100% bonus strength. Altered, reduced strength buff and energy restoration. So to my knowledge, it has a maximum cap at 100% bonus strength, from what I've heard. Has a max of 200% with the Arbusep? Oh, so it's still doubling with the Arbusep? Oh, that's kind of cool. I was wondering if that would happen. If it would double up to the 200% or not. I just haven't had the time to test it yet. Do you think it's normal or a bug? I think it's probably normal because arc guns have a cooldown, right? So I would imagine that it's normal. Because that's the sort of balancing factor to it, is arc guns have a cooldown attached to them. And it hasn't been fixed yet in the series of hotfix since the patches, so I think you'd probably be safe. What's the new max strength on Wisp? Now with a Noko subsume? Whatever it was before, plus 200. Well, I mean, it also depends on, like, are you using energy thingy? Are you, instead of doing, what's the other one, that gives you the strength? Because a lot of people would use Empower, right? So, whatever the previous strength was, minus Empower, plus 200 with, Noko's buff. Right? Because you can only have one helmet ability going on at the same time. Is, I assume, where Mika is referencing there. Bellicose augmented, sling strength, energy conversion, 200% Noko, Nidus Spectre. So, is that what I just said? The previous highest strength minus Empower plus 200%? Yeah, so, Void, you can delete weapons, right? So you go into equipment, you go into inventory, and you can delete weapons in here. Well, sell them, technically. So if we just sort... Oh, there's not a duplicates button here. I know I have got some spare weapons here. I can't sell the Azima. I know I've got a spare weapon here. Ah, Sporthwig's here. Right? This, sell, sell. And that just freed up a weapon slot. Right? So I've got 177 weapon slots. And we just find another weapon that I've got a duplicate of. Mika, have you tried to see if Bright Bonnet's bonus strength aura affects the Nidus Spectre? Dual commas dupe? Was there dual commas dupe there? Oh, there is. Yeah, so I'm at 177. Right, we go from 177, we go to our dual comma, we go here, we hit sell. And now I'm at 178. So your weapon slots are not, your weapon slots are not, like, gone if you sell a weapon, that you maintain your weapon slots as long as you have your account, basically. Basically obligatory. You don't think you're going to spend money for a weapon slot? You absolutely should spend platinum on weapon slots. like, as you're getting started, don't worry about it right now. But also, it's important to remember, Void, that Warframe is a full free-to-play system. You do not have to put real money into the game if you don't want to. I suggest you do it, because I personally think the devs deserve, you know, having money thrown at them every once in a while. I do it. But obviously, different people, different situations, etc., etc. You definitely want weapon slots and Warframe slots, because that's something that limits how, like, your ability to own things. It is worth investing platinum into it. Yeah, new players get 50 free platinum. The thing that most veterans recommend for a new player is you pick up 1 Warframe slot and 2 sets of 2 weapon slots. So 1 here, 1 of these, 2 of these, with the 50 platinum you get as you start. What Warframe should you unlock? I would probably recommend, you know, craft your Warframes, whatever one you get. Right? There's 62 different Warframes. Comey's fantastic. Comey's great. There's 62 different Warframes. Right? And just get them crafted. And level them up. Has anyone explained mastery rank to you yet, Void? So you gain mastery rank, for those who don't know. Okay, you don't know? No worries. So your mastery rank is essentially your account level. You can see it up here. Mine says 4 because I'm legend rank 4. So that's MR 34, mastery rank 34. Each weapon, unless it's very specific weapons, we're just doing generalized because it's a baby Tenno. We don't need to go into too much detail, chat. Most weapons are worth 3,000 affinity, aka your mastery rank bar here. Warframes are worth 6,000. Companions are worth 6,000. Companion weapons are worth 3,000, and so on and so forth. So you want to be, and if you sell a Warframe or a weapon after you've mastered it, so you got it up to level 30, you still keep that affinity. You still keep, or that mastery rank, right? You still keep that. It doesn't get deleted, so don't worry. It still counts. Like, you don't, like, if I were to delete one of these things, my bar here wouldn't go down. So, yeah. Don't be too worried about that type of stuff. Also, keep in mind that there are some weapons that are used as crafting materials for other weapons, and the wiki does have a full list of that. Also, I would highly recommend you familiarize yourself with this website here. Wiki.warframe.com. That's the official wiki for the game, and a lot of the information that you may need is in there. It's a very well-maintained Wikipedia by the community as well as by the developers. Highly, highly, highly recommend using that. What quest was the most memorable story to me? The Hex. I really liked it. I was a big, big fan of the Hex. Just came back to Warframe, bought the new Warframe. He's fun. Oh yeah, Noko's great. Noko's fantastic. But you really like what the developers did? Yeah, the developers, and like I was saying, Void, Warframe has a complete free-to-play system, so you don't need to put money in. You can trade parts to other people for platinum, right? So, like, you know, my mods, my stuff, I can equip, I can sell to other people for platinum. Oh, May. You make me so sad, May. I just have no talent. So this is another aspect of Warframe, aka fashion frame, or aka IKEA frame, where people decorate their orbiters or backroom or drifters camp or stuff like that. You know, and make it look completely different. Like this. Holy crap, that's cool. Is that an actual art piece or? Oh yeah, that's an art piece. Okay, it had the shininess to it. How do people do this? Great question. I don't know. May, is there an arches? Because, like, if there was an arches that you could make, that would look really good here. Yeah, this is the spaceship. This is just, like, you can get walls, and you can make your spaceship the way you want it to look like. Is Gara, as a new player, good? Gara is incredibly strong, but is, and is not bad for a new player at all. And she's fantastic into the late game, too. Oh, you went with the 4 dog statues, too? Inside of you, there lives 4 dogs. I love the little kitchen, and using the Ayatan sculpture as taps. That's actually great. Is that supposed to be a laundry machine? That's right. The UK has laundry machines inside of their kitchens. That's weird to me. Oh, look at the little bed. With all the floofs. I mean, did you say like a you locked up the poor sprawlings, May? The poor sprawlings. They're poor locked up little sprawlings. Look at the nightstand. I see vodka. Oh, May. I'm disappointed in you, May. I saw that. I'm walking away from it. I'm disappointed in you. This is outrageous. This looks really, really well done, May. A+. This looks so cool. Can you access your market and stuff and your codex still, May? Just crouch in there and get to it. Oh, this is an actual piece of art in the game. The Dirigia nuke build? Well, the Dirigia is not really usually used as a nuke build. Typically speaking. The Dirigia is usually used as a status priming companion, not necessarily a nuke build. No worries, May, or no worries, Mika. It's all good. We're just chilling. Meanwhile, this is my fashion. Stalkers everywhere. Yeah, I don't think it's a bug. I think that if it was a bug, it would have been addressed in the past 2 weeks. It seems like something that would have been very much addressed. It's a lot of stalkers. I got more I need to put out too. As a returning player, what is this? This is just a reskinned back room. We got skins for, or reskinned orbiter. This is just a skin for our orbiter. No, this is just a different skin for it. You unlock it in the story, so don't worry about it for now. What's the goal for a stalker floof tree? Nothing, because I'm not going to drive myself insane trying to make it. It's not happening. It will end me. Phaedra. Punch through, damage corpus, multi-shot. I mean, it's not bad. Certainly not bad. This is more of a status weapon too, so that makes the multi-shot and the punch through is quite nice. It does come baseline with punch through though, so you probably want to keep rolling this. You'd probably be looking for a status chance, multi-shot, fire rate, an element type of thing on there. Customize people orbiters? Oh, trust me, if I could get people to customize the orbiters for me, I would be instantaneous. Mike Diviner, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome on in. How was your stream? What'd you get up to? How was your day? Welcome on in, everybody. My name is Zenosfire. I stream Warframe. I make content on, for Warframe on YouTube, as well as being an official Warframe content creator. Mike, I hope that you had yourself a wonderful stream. Of course, if you got a raid and run, you are absolutely welcome to, as I do that every time I'm done streaming because I am old and tired when I'm done. Finished whispering the walls today. Ooh, very nice. I hope you're enjoying your time in Warframe. How you been enjoying it so far? Now, what we like to do around here is anytime that we get raided, to thank the kind people for sharing their community with us, is we like to do a little giveaway. So, we've got a few minutes here we'll give you, and then we'll get a giveaway going to thank Mike for the raid. But like I said, Mike, if you got a raid and run, not a worry in the world. Love for you to hang out. Love to get you know ya. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. Not a judgment at all. Old and tired when I'm done? I know, I'm old. Very addicted to it? Good. Welcome. One of us. One of us. I do a giveaway, doesn't it get expensive? I mean, I play this game for 40 hours a week. I tend to just have inventory on hand. You know, this is my literal job. I'm a full-time creator. So, you know, 2 or 3 raids a day, it's not that bad. Usually speaking. You don't want Coolant Link on here if you're doing the damage build, Jinx. If you're wanting to go for the nuke build, what you want is Fired Up. If you're trying to do the nuking build, you want Fired Up, not Coolant Link. Now that said, you could also put Coolant Link on here as well as Fired Up, but you definitely want Fired Up on here if you're going for that route. You can run both. There's no problems running both. Don't get me wrong, but that's typically the way. The other one is what's the other one? Momentous. This one here. Killing an Expert unit grants 120% bonus random elemental damage to companion for 30 seconds. This one here. Slash raid, not slash shoutout. Oh, it's all good. Don't worry. All's well. I'm very relaxed, Mike. I don't worry about things too much like that. But yeah, Momentous Bond is the other one that you want on there. Boost up your damage as much as you can on your Verglass, which is what you're running here. Yeah, Shivering Contagion's fine. You're spreading more cold, which is fine. YouTube Shorts are blowing up? Yeah, they've been doing that for the past year or so. Since the last December, it's been going crazy. I love it. It's fantastic. How's the stream going? Not too shabby. I'm a little bit of a sleepy boy, but not too bad. This is what I run on my Verglass nuke build. Yeah. Heat, magnetic, viral. Oh no, wait, it's this one. Is it this one? It is supposed to be this one. What happened here? What's missing here? I forget what's missing here now. This is what I run on mine. Heat, magnetic, viral. Magnetic for the extra mod capacity. Shred so that it has more fire rate and can punch through with its beam. Hit multiple people. Split chamber because you don't want to use galvanized chamber, because unless you're using a rifle on your main weapon, it doesn't get activated. It only gets activated. Galvanized mods on your companion on kill effect only gets activated if you have it on your frame, on your weapon, and it hits people. Alrighty, type exclamation point join to get in for the giveaway. It's for a Hero Prime. Anybody is welcome to join. To thank Mike Divider for the raid. Just type exclamation point join in the Twitch chat. It's only in Twitch chat. If you're watching somewhere else, click the link in the description, pop on over to Twitch. But I've got bad news. The trade-off is I gotta run an ad break. So if you don't like ads, you kind of like me and you want to support the community, Twitch sub, Twitch Turbo. Otherwise, sit tight and so that new people don't get pre-roll ads. But type exclamation point join during the ad break. And yes, you can even win on your first message. And then we'll keep going here and take a look at people's stuff. With everyone around. Drop only for Twitch? The giveaway's only on Twitch, yes. YouTube's API is garbage. They really need to improve that. YouTube has some improvements to be made. No, YouTube has actually been doing a lot of improvements for its live streaming. Do you know if the Steel Path bonuses work on the base res in the zone while farming them? What do you mean by that? Base res in the zone while farming them? We're gonna need more context on what you're saying there. Okay, Tank, what you got? Fell arcs. Okay, there's actually a really fun tech with the Fell Arcs because one of its evolutions gives you ammo efficiency, so you can use Crux and it to have 100% ammo efficiency, which means that you never have to reload, which is kind of fun. So that's why I typically recommend using Crux on here. Open world or fish. No, I don't think that it works like that. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think that Steel Path increases fishing anything. It's not a drop, it's a reward for finishing a task. Right? Steel Path loot drops is based off of it increases the drop chance off of enemies. Fishing technically is not an enemy, even though you do need to ambush them. Think of it more as like, at least to the best of my knowledge, I could very much be wrong on that. Resource boosters? Yeah, resource boosters do. As in, like, the orange resource boosters. These ones here. These ones here. These ones work on fish and mines. I don't think these ones do, to the best of my knowledge. Which is what this is on the Steel Path modifier. It's the drop chance. It's not the resource itself. Type exclamation point join. If you want in for the giveaway, we're giving away a Harrow set. Harrow Prime set. Everybody and anybody's welcome to join. Dials, an Atlas. Oh, looks nice. I kind of wish that there was more of this bluey green though, Dials. But I don't know how you could do that without like a shoulder pad or maybe an ephemera. You know what I mean? Just like something to break up the gray tones on it. But I do like it. Rainy, what you got? High range, good strength, no helmets, decent duration, augmented, crepuscular, equilibrium. Don't use equilibrium. Don't use this. This is unnecessary. You have Bripe on it. I think Flo put this on his build, or someone else put this on his build for another creator did. I don't remember who did, but you don't need it. This is your energy regeneration, right? You don't need anything else other than this. So I wouldn't use equilibrium here. And I would say try to get some more strength on here. Noko is how much strength versus how much range can I use? Blue? Blue, you want a Harrow? Blue, you're not online, Blue. Unfortunately, the ephemeras you have currently don't work much. That's fair. You're newish and you're thinking of building Galantine Prime is a pretty decent weapon or invest in a big fun melee sword. I mean, fun is the most important meta, and the Galantine's certainly not bad. Does it get overshadowed by other stuff eventually? Yeah, of course, just like everything else in the game, right? But you know, that's just sort of an eventuality with a live service game like this. Eventually things sort of get power crept out and progression happens. But it's certainly not a bad weapon. Now it's nuking. See, that's why you come hang out with Zenosfire. Zenosfire has answers. Zenosfire always has the answers. Well, not always, but sometimes does. Is there a better giant sword? I mean, I like the Graham more than I like the Galantine. Personally. Both are great, don't get me wrong. You're not going to go wrong either direction, but it's largely personal preference. I do prefer the Grand Prime, though. But also, I just like the Grand Prime. What weapon should you use? Yeah, War's not bad. Prime Resurgence, what's worth spending on? I mean, I'm a Nezha main, so I'm completely, biased. But anyway, going back to this, I would just say some more strength. I wouldn't use Equilibrium here. Bright Bonnet is your energy regeneration. Right? It's double this, and you have 2 of them down at a time. You already have him? Yeah, he's fantastic. That's just great. The Guandao's good. The Zacti's good. The Tenor is good. I'm not a fan of the Pandero. Octavia's fantastic. Got a fave Nezha build? This is the problem. I've got 7 different Nezha builds, and I like them all. That's the problem. Oh, I do like the Sindo too, but that's an axe. I know it's a heavy blade, but it's an axe, okay? You're not gonna walk up to Gimli and tell him that's a sword. Gimli will look at you and cut off your face. Overframe builds for them or YouTube vids? YouTube vids, right here. Those links right there for you. The War? Yeah, the War has been sort of overshadowed over the years, but it's still not a bad weapon. Is Gauss Prime good? Very. Yep. Gauss can do... so the important thing to remember, Void, is that every single Warframe in the game has the potential to be incredibly strong. There is no frame that I would say is bad. There's just frames that don't suit your playstyle. Right? So, like, Gauss may not just suit your playstyle, and that's perfectly fine. I don't play Gauss. Gauss doesn't fit my playstyle. But Gauss is incredibly strong. And then, like, you know, I don't like Revenant. But Revenant is very strong. So it's largely, like, Warframe, instead of, like, a meta of, like, this is the best thing and only use this thing for optimal DPS, it's much more of, like, how do you want it? How do you want to... What flavor of ice cream do you want to destroy the world with today? Is a better way to think of it. It's not like, you know, this is the best thing and only use this thing or else you're bad. It's, here are a lot of different options that you can do really funny, interesting things with and go have fun. Is a better way to think about it. Chocolate chip cookie dough? Haagen-Dazs, or not Haagen-Dazs, Ben & Jerry's has got this thing called O Canada for like a Canada flavored. And it's chopped up pieces of chocolate covered waffle cone with like salted caramel in it. And it's really tasty. What's the best frame you can spend the least forma and endo to be good endgame viable? Revenant, Oberon, Rhino, Valk, Noko. All of those. You could go, like, I know people who take all of those frames to level cap with no mods on them. I have seen all of those things. Go to level cap with no mods. Octavia, yeah, Octavia's too. Yeah. Whose Noko is this? Is this Noko we've already seen already? Did we look at yours? Yeah, we did. The Equilibrium. Get rid of Equilibrium. Oberon rework didn't fix whatever problem he had? No, I disagree with that. I think that it created a new problem for Oberon, being that I'm never going to play him because it's now boring. Because he's just so incredibly survivable that it's just, you're not using 2/3 of his kit for survivability. But that's not to say that he's bad. He's a much, much better frame than he was before. And I think to say otherwise would be false. This is a really nice Lavos Uzi. I really like. Oh, these are the Day of the Dead shoulders, right? Looks nice. I like that. Didn't realize they had an energy channel in there. No, I think... Where did you find Vanta Black? What the heck? 3 is a cool thing for group play? Yeah, it's totally up to personal preference. For Noko, I assume is what you mean. Yo, Ed, how you doing? Mesa? Ooh, that's cool. For Oberon? Everyone subsume over the 3, but it's a cool thing for group play? Yeah, so the reason why people are subsuming over Oberon's 3 is because of this. Is because of his passive. His 3 is pointless. Well, not pointless, but largely speaking, it's just not... It's not necessary. When you collect a health orb, which includes universal orbs, this creates a lot of health orbs. Everybody runs Synth Deconstruct, which brings a lot of health orbs. And then there's this arcane here. Makes it so that each radiation status effect increases a 6% chance to drop a universal orb. Which means with Oberon, with every half second applying a guaranteed status effect, and this applying status effect, means that you're going to be littered with universal orbs, just by existing in the map by using 2 abilities, to the point that your passive is your survivability, and it completely negates the point of renewal. Which is the reason why I'm not a big fan of the passive. I think that it is so good that it makes renewal pointless and the armor from Reckoning pointless because you're never taking damage. But that said, I'm just not going to play with Universal Fallout. Right? And that's my answer, is I'm just not going to use Universal Fallout so that I can play around the armor more. And that's more the way that I'm going to be playing Oberon going forward. Is I'm just not going to use Universal Orbs. Armor isn't pointless if you run Arcane Battery. Yeah, but you don't really need energy, right? Equilibrium, Health Orbs. You don't need energy. Right? You're getting constant energy generation from these 2 and this. You don't need it. It's kind of my point. Is now like Revenant with extra steps? I mean, I would say he's on a more engaged Revenant, right? I wouldn't say he's Revenant with extra steps. I would say he's just in a more engaging Revenant. Because you just have to actually cast 2 abilities in order to have your invincibility instead of just 1 ability. You know? Well, when you're using Universal Fallout. Unlocking Steel Path, the Grineer guy talking shit to you whenever you hover over Earth? Yeah, that's a Kuvalich. I assume you've got red blobs all over Earth, too? That's a Kuvalich. Seaweed, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, that's a Kuvalich. I think Flynn's got a good guide on how to do Kuvaliches. If I remember correctly. I think I'm still just gonna play with Bellicose. Do I even want to play with Oberon? I want to mess around with him today? No, not really. I'm not in the mood. Let's just play with some more Noko. Ooh, let's play with a gun platform build. Let's grab our Ferox. Next build? Yeah, type exclamation point Nix. If you're ever looking for a build, if I have a build video out for it, just type exclamation point in the name of the whatever you're looking for. Do I just want to go live in a... live in a Mott survival for a while? With a health tank Noko. That will be terrible. It won't be terrible, but it'll be a little bit rough. It'll be fun. We had some people on deck earlier. I can't remember who was on deck, so F it. Yo, Lion, how you doing? Dials. Dials, what's your in-game name? Lieutenant Luch Cool. And who was the other Cardi? Dials, what's your in-game name? How am I? I'm doing okay. Ye old depression is being depression today, so... But we're doing our best. How you doing today? We're full up at the moment, Solid Core. We'll be doing some more missions later. Yeah, let's do the mod one here. Yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with depression since I was a child, so this is nothing new to me. Thankfully. Which sounds really weird when you put it that way, but thankfully it's nothing new to me. I forgot to re-equip my stuff here. Yo, Peanuts, how you doing?
Their rage is vehement, their focus impressive. Give them all.
I mean, the most important thing, build strike is, you know, the most important thing is just play at your pace, right? Whatever your pace is, you know, some people just are looking for cheap and cheerful builds, and that's kind of, I think, where that person is more talking about. Let's see. I mean, this is not a bad room. I'm gonna go down, but I got a mushroom down. Do I not have reinforced bond on my Nautilus? I don't think I got reinforced bond on here. Railjack guide recommendations. Check iFlynn. When in doubt, I recommend iFlynn. Oh, enemies, where art thou? Do I not have Animal Instinct on my Nautilus? I don't think I have Animal Instinct on my Nautilus. I think I'm on the wrong Nautilus build. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I love Animal Instinct. It makes my life so much easier. Oh, right. Lord Nil, I forgot to show you. Sorry, I've got, like, major ADHD. So if you're looking for, like, certain things from me, I do need a reminder that you're looking for certain things from me. So, I will show you... Really? Oh, it's a Necros, so that's why. I will show you the, thingy, what I was talking about later on. See if we can find ourselves a better room. Who am I playing with? This squad of people. Nautilus. Here's a better room. Let's hang out here. Alright, gotta run a quick ad break here, everybody. You know the deal. We gotta run ads every once in a while so that new people don't get brutal ads. If you don't like ads, you kinda like me and you want to support the community, Twitch sub, Twitch turbo. Otherwise, sit tight. See you in a minute. How do you get free name change from the name change update? I don't think that's available anymore. Typically, things that are freebies like that are usually, are usually a limited time offer from the devs. So that may no longer be a thing that's available. I also don't remember there ever being a free name change update. But that could just be my memory not serving me properly. Yeah, this Nautilus is the AoE Nautilus, not the Nautilus I wanted, so I'm not actually doing a whole lot here for this squad, sadly. Yeah, well, what can you do? No, you changed your name because you got it reported? So then you probably have to log into your account on Warframe.com, if that's the case. www.warframe.com. Ooh, 2 gyres. But I've also never had to do that, baby man Bob, so I could be incorrect. So don't call me on that. I've got literally no idea. Everybody got all their reacting? Okay, good. Hi, Brady. How you doing? Warframe isn't cloud saved. I mean, your account is, yes, but your settings are not, if that is what you're wondering. Yes, it is cross-save is the word you're looking for, technically. Warframe is cross-save. What are we doing? Just survival. Some relics. What you up to? I figured out why the enemies aren't joining us. It's because there's a bunch of Necros minions over there. Guns? I don't need those. I play Noko. So for those of you who don't know, Necros' minions have a higher threat level than Warframes, so it makes the enemies target them. Which is great, actually. It is a very useful skill. Why? Because they are supposed to make enemies focus at them. That's like their whole point as a survivability mechanic for whatchamacallit. Especially with the Shield of Shadows, they're meant to be a survivability mechanic for Necros. I really do miss the days when enemies used to spawn around hosts rather than basically whoever's farthest away from the squad. I really wish that they would bring that back. Selfishly, of course. Bunch of enemies stuck in the previous room. Yeah, it happens. Oh yeah, make sure to do that, as May said there. Make sure to do the cross-save, cross-play stuff. I rewatched the VOD from the QTCC stream of Rue and I doing the bounce only mission. It was actually, it was a ton of fun. It was just so silly. We do love strength in this house. Need more spear guns in the game? I agree. We do. Was that a good trade? Well, if you're ever wondering, Topa Gusto, welcome on in. Check Warframe.market. Warframe.market is generally the place that I would highly recommend everybody do their trading on. It's generally better to go there, as you can sort of see what other people are charging, and then you can make judgment calls based on what you would like to charge and what you would like to offer for. Hey, it's Vor! I'm gonna throw a mushroom on Vor, it's gonna be great. Come on, Vor, come get your lumps. I'm waiting for you. You can... Oh, you know what? That's a great question. I don't know how that works now. Cardi got the mag bubble and didn't roll out of it. Oh, he's already dead. I don't even know what he died to. He's just deaded. Beautiful and sick like me. I wonder if enemy spawns are messed up again. What? Woo. Yeah, it kind of feels like it. Is Precision Sensifier worth putting on Dante? Depends on what kind of Dante build you're going for, Nox. Dante is one of the ones that, like, it is good on Dante. Or, yeah, Dante. It just depends on what build you're going for with your Dante. Mostly for support. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah. Not a bad choice, at least. Yeah, see, that one Necros minion there was, that is, like, the one minor issue with Necros. If you let the minions just sort of chill out for too long without resummoning them, they end up causing issues with enemy pathing because of their increased threat levels. And I say this as someone who actually loves to play Necros. I love Necros. I should play more Necros. Why don't I play more Necros? That's a great question to me. Why don't I play more Necros? Because Neja exists? I mean, you're not wrong. Necros was my main for a long time. Malpheus, back when I was first getting started, gifted me one of the Necros Deluxe skin. And I just played so much Necros for that. And then I got addicted to Harrow. And then I got addicted to Neja, and it's been Neja all the way down since. Ooh, Argon Crystal. And it was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Oh yeah. Oh, the Elder screwed. Someone was making a comment about doing a bounce build with this, but I was like, it doesn't function properly. Doing a slam build with the bounces. Architriton, yeah. I've never really cared for slam builds personally, but it is a fun little tech if you like it. I've always found slams to be not my style. Nah, I mean, just slams in general I've never liked. The only times that I like slams is when the melee stance has a slam built into it. Right? So, we're talking like the Mire using the Vengeful Revenant with the block combo does slam attacks inside of its base normal stuff. So you do your slams here, right? Yeah, the neutral block, exactly. And if, like, there's a few other ones like, Heavy Blades with, I believe that it's the Cyclone one? With Heavy Blades has got the slam attack on it, on the block attack. Cleaving Wind, yeah. The, on the forward block attack has a bunch of slams on it, which is really fun with, like, Stampede, or any, what's the, it's a Tenant. Tenant Exec is the Heavy Blade that has the slam things. The slam mechanic to it. That's the only time I really like slams. But again, you know, it's always personal preference like Warframe. Right? As long as you're having fun, and as long as you can get the mission done, that's all you need to care about. I paid, destiny is calling me. Iron Staff forward block. See, I like the regular Iron Staff attack because it does a grouping effect on one of its attacks, which I just always like. You know, enemy grouping, especially with a melee frame, is always nice to have. Also, I saw you pop in, Froggy. I wasn't ignoring you. I hope you're doing okay. Multi-augmented doesn't build up when you're in reroute. Interesting. I do like reroute. I think I actually need to build a second Noko. Frustratingly. I've got so many builds for him already that I need another one. I'm fine, tagged Froggy. Mods, if we haven't gotten a shout out yet for Froggy, can we get a shout out for Froggy, please? Pretty please. If any of you are here today, I know all of you are very busy right now, so if none of you are here, then don't worry about it. I will get it done when I'm done here. Oh, Iron is here. Very nice. Thank you, Iron. Appreciate you. Hiya. Oh, that's a bug that I need to tell them about. Oh, is it not happening now? Of course it's not happening when I try to pull it up. There's been a bug with a Tenet Ferox and the reload. When you roll. Oh, it's when you bullet jump. If you interrupt a roll. If you interrupt a reload animation with the Tenet Ferox by rolling. And then you do a bullet jump, it makes the reload noise. It's really weird. I don't know if it's happening with any others. Hey, look, ours all the reactant with my hallway heroes. There they go. Watch them as they go. You're not sorry, Cardi. Don't lie to me. Yep, that's exactly why, Jinx. That's why most people like to do the Nautilus for the nuking build. It's because of grouping enemies up, causes them to get 3 or more status effects on them, causing Cordon to get refreshed from Manifold Bond, causing chaining it down the hole. That's why the reason why most of the time people do the nuking builds with Nautilus. Makes you not want to use it? Yeah, I'll make a bug report after I'm done here. I wonder if it's only with the Tenet Ferox one. Can you join me if we got room for the next squad, or if I keep playing? I'm not feeling the greatest today, so I don't know if I'll be going for too long today. But if I am, absolutely, baby man Bob. You max Cavia? Congratulations, Pokemon! Enemy. Eat my shield. So the same build without Arc Coil? Yeah, basically. Instead of Arc Coil or whatever the Dirigia Adler mods that you may have on there, instead of those, just whatever you got. Alright, we're heading to Extract, nerds. Let's go. Up, 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 up. Your Neja will be soon ready cooking up? Heck yeah. Well, if you need some builds, just type !Neja and you can get some. The Otomos will become one of your favorite weapons when you get with the Incarnate. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great incarnate too. Hey Wes, how you doing? Chillin', late night gaming, heck yeah. Extract nuds. You have a gold potato in your Nautilus? Uh-oh. Guess you need 20 platinum then. Melee or ranged ability? Ranged. If you watch my video, headers, I go over all of Nezha's abilities and whatnot inside of the video. All of your answers of how Nezha functions is hiding inside of that video just for you. Nobody else, though. Nobody else is allowed to enjoy that section of the video. Sorry. Send a friend request? How dare you? GG squad. Okay, let me rebuild my ensnare build here. Do I face any survivability issues on Nezha? No, never. Absolutely never. And usually the only time I ever really face survivability issues is when I'm not paying attention. Like if I just lose focus on something for one reason or another, I just, you know, that will be the thing that causes me to die, not anything else. Archon continuity, catalyzing, and flow, and then molt, and Aegis. There we go. What else am I streaming on? I stream Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, I knew I was on the wrong build. I knews it. I knews it. I didn't have animal instinct. Shame. For shame. For shame. Alright, let's see what people have sent. Valhalla, what you got? A blue? Kuvaro had a new augment? Yeah, it's quite good. My favorite underrated weapon? Tended Ferox, Kuva, Hind. Probably those two. I like that Norse. Although I think you need more definition between the gold and this mustardy color, though. One of them needs to go darker. Or, yeah, one of them needs to go darker. You could also make that gray, make that white, maybe like tone the white down a bit so it's more, not like full gray, but like 1 or 2 shades less, like more towards gray. And like, I'm not sure if the gold or if this color needs to get darkened down, but I think you need some form of definition between the two. Like a dark white, yeah, but like not towards gray, right? Like this is like, it's bleeding because the orange bleeds into it. But like, it's just an off-white, right? So it's not like glaringly white, it's like, you know, it's not asking for extra mayonnaise, you know what I mean? That is a reference to a movie from like, let me see if I can remember which one it is. Yeah, it's that one. Oh, I forgot about this one. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was. Okay, that is such a reference. Nobody will understand that one. What's better, viral corrosive? Depends on the enemy, depends on the weapon. Fragor Prime. Put your opportunities reach up here. You can get weapon excellence adapters from your syndicates, and you can craft them there. And what's your crit chance? Are you doing a slam build with this? Potentially. I wouldn't run both of these. If you want a status priming companion, condition overload's a great choice. If you're not running a status priming companion, prime pressure point's a good choice. And it also looks like you're doing a slam build here. Ish. With galvanized reflex. Put that up there. And then, like, killing blow or seismic, whatever the heck it's called, for the extra slam damage. Telos Boltor. Crit chance, crit damage. I think we saw this Boltor already. Yeah, you sent this already. Yeah, you sent it. We already took a look at that. Tazakor. What's this one? This is the high status one. Cold Toxin, free viral's never bad. So what, you got rad, magnetic, viral, elementalist for some extra status damage. So the extra status damage from this is only being applied to the electricity, so it may not be doing a whole lot for you here. You may want to swap that out with just a neutral damage mod, which you don't have a neutral damage mod on here right now. And remember, galvanized mods on companion weapons don't function properly unless you are using a rifle with a galvanized chamber equipped to it yourself. So that on kill plus 30% multi-shot will only activate if you have a secondary, if you have a primary with that on. Tenant Ferox. Frostbite. Corrosive Cold. Cold damage. Crit damage. Not bad. Not bad at all. Keep in mind that, again, right? The direct hits, you'll get the damage. AoE, you won't. So that's the only thing to keep in mind on here. With aptitude, which you may want to swap out for something else. Which, in your case, would be probably Hammer Shot. If you wanted to go that route. Frostbite for the extra crit damage and crit damage and multi-shot's quite nice. This is very much a crit-inclined weapon. It has a 3x crit multiplier base, which is wild. Galvanized Scope for the extra crit chance when you're scoping down. More critical damage here, more crit chance there. I mean, you could just go even further into the crit damage and replace Galvanized Aptitude with just a crit damage mod. And just go absolutely crazy. It does have a 3x crit multiplier, so getting even more on there is actually, you know, it like a 3x crit multiplier is one of the higher in the game. Synoid Simulor. No, there's no such thing as too much crit. No such thing as too much crit damage. I'll die on that hill. I don't care what anybody says. Again, you've only got electric on here, so Elementalist is only benefiting a singular element. That's totally up to you if that's okay with you. Crit chance, electricity damage. It's not really a crit inclined weapon, so I mean you've made it into a crit inclined weapon, but that's because of both of these here. Totally up to you whether or not you want to switch that around. I think the rest of this build looks fine. I forget how Firestorm works with the Simulor. Galantine. Attack speed, range, toxin, not bad. Minus damage Grenadier is a little bit rough, but, you know, you can work around that. Yeah, that all looks good. Obviously, whatever arcane you feel like going for. You got Vortex, potentially, if you wanted to. Could be nice. Melee Vortex? Okay, that's what I figured, yeah. Sword! Big old sword! So, the Zenostar, when you use the skin from the Chroma Deluxe, the Heavy Blade skin from the Chroma Deluxe gets big sword. Labosh. Black, red, and gold. It's classic for a reason. Looks nice, though. Looks good, looks good. I feel like you need another color on here, NPC. You need some definition on this. Saint Michael, what you got? Faust? I see a lot of people do this sort of green, bronzy gold, and brown. It actually looks quite nice. Even though I'm not a huge fan of green. It does look good there.
Would you like me to say you're fully around one day?
Wow. Du hast. Du hast mich. Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast mich gefragt. Is this Du hast? No, I'm just screaming Du hast for no reason. Just yelling Du hast for no reason, you know, the usual. Do 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 do. 9. Oh, 9. Stokes, welcome in. How you doing? Okay, I'm going to run a quick ad break and see if I can get back some energy here. So we'll be back in a few minutes here, peeps. Sit tight. Yeah, we do. Hold on. Du hast. Du hast mich. Du hast mich. Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast mich gefragt. Tells Bolter and Karnan viral because it's got huge amount of slash. Hey, Dream Eater, how you doing? Okay, we do have one of these. All right, type exclamation point join in the Twitch chat for 100 personal platinum courtesy of Digital Extremes as thank you for our goals of hitting for the Quest to Conquer Cancer funding. This will be coming to you if you are a winner sometime in November, just as a reminder. I'll be back in a few minutes. Mods, just keep an eye on the chats for me, please. I'll be back in just a bit here. Just gonna go see if I can get myself a second wind of energy here. So, be right back. I'm gonna run an ad break now so that we don't get ads later, and we'll be right back in a moment here. Peanuts, you won. Peanuts, can you please type out your in-game name and the platform you play on, please? PC, perfect. Thank you. As a reminder, that'll be coming to you sometime the first or second week of November. So it'll be a little bit of time to get to you. All right, everybody. I think I am going to call it here for me today. I'm just not feeling great. I always feel bad streaming well when depression's hitting me because, you know, nobody has fun if someone's in a bad space. So I'm going to call it here for me today, everyone. Thank you very much, Mike Divider, for the raid today. Thank you, Blue Cooler, for the Prime sub. Thank you, Nox, for the gifted sub. And we're going to go drop you off with good friend of the stream. We're going to go drop you off with the Shroom. So go say hi to Shroom. If you got a sub, there's some emotes to throw at Shroom. Highly recommended. Fantastic person. And we'll be back Tuesday, everyone, as usual, for more Warframe shenanigans, get our weeklies done and all that jazz. And I'll be better then. It usually just takes a few days for it to go away, so don't you worry about me. I'll be perfectly fine. But go spend 60 seconds, go say hi to Shroom, make their day a little bit better because that's the right thing to do. And we'll catch all y'all on Tuesday. See you then, everybody. Thanks for hanging out today. Apologies for being down today. But we'll see all y'all then. See ya!